Hello, I just thought I would do a slightly different video today. Now, it is pertinent to what's going on with all of the cuts and things like this and the persecution of basically disabled, elderly and the vulnerable. So it's not only obviously benefit cuts with disability in mind, it's also we've had the pensions, the elderly winter fuel and all of that. We've had that cut and other things to do with pensioners, i.e. if you're outside the country you don't get the updates and all of this sort of thing. Clearly there is an agenda going on here, and I know that some of you out there will be, oh, here we go again. Oh, not again. Oh, why is he always on about this? Oh, again. Well, unfortunately, this is the way of the world. And it's also the way that the world is going. And it's all to do with this on the screen. Our parliament has been taken over by an unelected, unwanted global body that is hell-bent on communism. That's no other word for it. We all know that majority of the people in charge are aligned with WEF. We all know Keir Starmer and Boris Johnson and Rishi were all part of the WEF. They all went to their meetings in Davos and they all support the ideals. So it does make pretty much sense that the direction that we're going in is to deal with and introduce the ideas that they want. And you may have heard it bandied around a little while back, two years ago. They were doing sort of trials for Universal Basic Income, UBI. And they were doing trials in Wales, I believe. I'm not too 100% sure. But I know that they have done some trials. I don't know the outcome of those trials, but I suspect was a success. Now, why am I mentioning that? Well, I had this idea yesterday in my head. It just came to me. I thought, well, there must be a reason why they're continuing to push this idea of getting people into poverty and poor, removing their money from people who really cannot go to work. If there were jobs out there, then the people that they're going to be taking money off of really, truly will not be able to go to work. Even if they wanted to, they wouldn't be able to. And forget the fact that there aren't any jobs out there. Not enough anyway. And suitable. And employers who are willing to take you on. So why are they doing it? Well, I think the idea here is to make everybody so poor that they will gladly accept free money. UBI, Universal Basic Income, which is a monthly amount of money. I mean, what they were paying before in the trials was staggering for doing nothing. I mean, you're talking £1,500 to £2,000 every month for doing nothing, and with no other reason except that you get the money to spend on what you like. And I'm sure they will chuck in housing into that as well, so you won't have to worry about your housing. The problem is that they're doing it and they're going to get everybody hooked on this idea that there is an alternative outlet. You know, you have your benefits or pension cut and you think, what am I going to do? How am I going to pay my bills? And along comes UBI, and they go, well, if you have UBI, you'll have this guaranteed money for free up front every month, guaranteed for doing nothing. No commitment. You can do what else you like as well. You can work, whatever, or not. And we're going to give you free money. You're going to take it, aren't you? You're going to get signed up for it. But don't forget, ask what you have to do for it later. What do you have to do for it to keep it? Okay? Because I can guarantee you that in a year or two after, they'll be going, all right, now you've got UBI. We want you to do X, Y, and Z. And it won't be like, oh, we want to get a job. It'll be like, we want to know we want you to get a digital chip, or you want a health check. You've got to have them every month. You've got to go and see your GP. And you've got to do whatever they say. You can't eat pizza on every day. You can't have pizza when you want. You have to eat these bugs and this made up food. You can't buy any organic. You've got to have what we tell you. You can't go anywhere. You won't be able to go on holiday. You won't be able to go abroad because they want to shut down the airports, except for one. They want you to stay at home. Basically, can you see where we're going with this? I think that even if it doesn't come out as being something that they're going down that route, I think there's this idea, this is where they want to get to. You have to look at how they're going to get there. How can you make people transfer over and do what you say? Well, it's very easy. You make sure that they haven't got any money, the people that really need it, and when they're so desperate, you offer them the solution, they're going to take it, for sure. Guaranteed, they're going to take it. So I don't know if you agree with me. I don't know what your feelings are on that, but I just think it's a theory. And to me, knowing as I do everything about everything and the way that they're going and the plans, I see it as a way forward for them so that they can escalate their plans. And I see this coming very, very soon, and all of this benefit thing, the cuts and everything, and the austerity and the pensions and the pensioners and everything else is designed to force people to comply. Now, I'm sure that you are out there thinking, oh God, here we go again, another one of his tinfoil hat theories. However, I'm not the only one with these ideas, and lover or hater, I'm sure you have your personal opinions, all right? But I would plead to you, please just listen to what she says, all right? Forget who it is. Forget that you probably are a little bit biased against her because of what you heard. It's not about what she's done, because I think that she is very genuine. She's a lovely person. I've met her, and I think that she is media hounded over the years, and everything she says makes sense. So even if you don't like her and you can't stand the guts, but just listen.
The grand plan for us all is that we become entirely dependent on the state. Because as with communism, when you're dependent entirely on the state has total control. And for people like me, who've been called every name under the sun, and it doesn't matter one bit. And it absolutely doesn't matter if you disagree with what I'm about to say, or you need to call me a name because of what I'm about to say. You know, I've been called the biggest bitch in Britain, and now I get called a drunk or a mad woman, or, you know, she's off her head, that one. That doesn't matter what the label is. It doesn't change. It's on you that you need to put a label on me to make your stuff okay. Regardless, for me, lockdowns were all about teaching people to be entirely dependent on the state. So many people enjoyed the lockdown summer. Being paid by the state to sit at home in their gardens and have a nice time was all part of the education, and it's worked brilliantly. Before lockdowns, around 2,000 people a month-ish were claiming or adding to the PIP claimants. So around 2,000 people a month signed on to say, I want to just be dependent on the government. Lockdown happened, and now that figure is closer to 6,000 people a month that say, I'm giving up on life, I'm giving up on being personally responsible or personally accountable, and I'm going to have the government pay me to live. Now, I know there'll be people in the comments say, well, Katie, you don't realise I've got no legs, no arms, and I need help. Yes, I get it. Individual cases differ. You will feel personally got at if this is you, and I feel that you have every right to respond in the comments. But tell me how it could possibly be that in the month before lockdowns, there were 2,000 additional claimants a month, and now there's 6,000 just in that brief period. And the answer is, I think, it was an education program designed to make people dependent on the state. And how many of you have heard friends say, I'm just going to spend it all. I'm giving up on everything. And when I run out, I'm going to just sign on and be dependent on the government. I've heard it a whole bunch of times from people you would never expect to hear it from, because the disincentive for being independent or accountable or putting in effort or trying hard, or the difficulties of trying to employ people or be employed, are simply too much. So I think what's happening today is performative, because I think the overall direction that the madness takes us in is to be entirely dependent on the state. The state will eventually pay out universal income for everybody, and everybody will relinquish private property, private car ownership, private ownership of anything. And that's the sort of direction that we've been heading in, certainly for the last decade, if not the last couple.
Anyway, let me know what you think, and please be polite. Right, see you later. Have a good day. Bye for now. Oh, hello. Sorry to interrupt the video. Just to say that if you're interested in and keen to watch new episodes before they come out, the best way to do that is become a Patreon. And you can do that very simply. Just go to patreon.com/Andy Wright Online and sign up for a monthly donation, which can be as small as $5, which is hardly anything. If you think about it, you can probably get a cup of Costa coffee if you're lucky. But $5 a month will allow you access to all of the videos that I'm going to be bringing out in the next few months, and you will get them at least a week early, so you can entertain yourself with the new episodes. Sorry to bother you, but now back to the video.